Alright guys, this on the right here, you'll see this big open field on the other side of the fence. That's all grass. I filmed that in a video I've made before, and this is one of my biggest properties. I don't know exactly the size of it. I just know that to do all the mowing and all the trimming on a weekly basis, it takes me and another guy about 2.5 hours. This is one of the ones I'm keeping, and I'm doing it by myself, going solo this year. Some of you guys may think I'm crazy, but my first year in business, I did this one by myself. I actually grew up with the people that live in this house, the kids of the people that live in this house. Just the mother lives there now. But so I've been around this property my whole life. But yeah, the first year I did it all by myself, and that was with just my Scag belt drive walk behind. So the equipment I have is 10 times better now. So it makes a big difference. But yeah, I am going back to doing this one by myself again. The front house is the main house, homestead, I guess you could say. This used to be a big horse ranch at one time. They don't have horses anymore. The back building has a huge loft apartment in the top of it that was built by the daughter that grew up in this house. It was actually filmed in Log Home magazines at one point, but the bottom half is now a dog grooming business, and the mother runs that. But that's the main reason. She can pretty much get through anything with that little SUV she has. It's 4-wheel drive. She can get through a lot getting in and out of here, but she's got a lot of customers with cars like the one you see on the right. I think that's actually one of her employees. But yeah, you'll see everything over to the left, that's all grass. However, that huge open area to the right, that's all grass. I filmed this before, not the whole thing, just parts of it. There's a big front area to the left here, a big front area to the right. But it's big. I filmed it before. I think it was, I think I titled the video one of my biggest properties, where I'm on my Great Dane stander mowing parts of it, and I think Max was on the Exmark 0-turn mowing. This is definitely one of them properties where you guys have mentioned before I should go with a bigger mower, and yes, it would definitely pay off, but with what I'm getting rid of, I only have one this size. I have a few others that are still pretty big, but only one this size versus countless others that anything bigger than a 48 would just be way too big for. So that's why I didn't go up to a bigger one. I may in the future get a bigger one, something with a bigger deck, just to make these go a little faster. But I've worked them into where I have time. I'm still making plenty of money on the deal, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't bother me. But that's just my preference, just the way I do it. So I'm not gonna. This is a pretty long video. I'm not gonna talk through the whole thing. I'm still playing around with editing videos, so I'm gonna attempt to add some music in here, just off the YouTube list of something that's halfway decent. But we just got a big storm that came through. They called for anywhere from like 6 to 12 inches. I don't know how well it's coming out here on the video, but it was still snowing pretty steady. I went out plowing at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I finished at 10:30 at night. Before it was all done, it finally stopped about 4:30 in the afternoon, where it completely stopped snowing, and I was able to just get a last pass through everything. I went through everything 3 times, but I was able to get through everything after it after it had finally stopped and cleaned it all up, so everything was good to go. But we end up getting, I'd say, 10 to 12 inches on the first round. Second time I plowed, I think I was pushing 5 roughly in most areas, and then the last time I went through, it was probably another 5 to 6 inches that I'd pushed. So it really wasn't too awfully bad. The worst part was it was all heavy wet snow, which, you know, anyone that plows will tell you they'd rather push light flaky stuff all day. But yeah, so it's just a bunch of heavy, nasty, wet stuff. Well, yeah, so you can see the whole area there behind the house. That's all grass over there, too. I don't know if you can see the white fence way off in the distance, but the property goes all the way over to that, and then up the other side of the house. And right here on the other side of this building, there's a little dog kennel grass area inside there, so you got to go in there and mow that too. It looks like there'd be a ton of weed whacking, but there really isn't. You just kind of go around the house, and there's a couple ditch lines I do, and every other week I do the fence line, which I fly right through it. It's a lot of walking, but you get it done. It's not that big a deal. But you guys will see I posted another video where I upgraded to longer trimmers for this year, the FS90R, which is one of the reasons I did that was for this property, because of the just amount of weed whacking on the times I got to do that fence line. I'm 6'1", so to not have to lean way over to trim it all, massive amounts at a time, this property was one of the reasons, like I said, but it's really not that bad. For a lazy person, yeah, this place would suck ass, but I'm not lazy, so it doesn't bother me. Yeah, on that note, so this is the storm that we had just gotten. Today is the 17th, so this would have been the 16th yesterday. And now we're supposed to have mid to high 40s the rest of the week. Over the weekend, I think one of those days is even predicting 51, 52 degrees. But so what I'm going to do is I just it was random spots throughout the day. Yesterday was so long. I lived on Mountain Dew and coffee all day. I didn't even realize till I got home at like 10:30 at night that I literally never ate one single thing all day. I just kept going, trying to stay up with it. It's better to plow with the storm. Anyone that has any experience plowing will tell you it's much better to plow with the storm than wait till it's all done. Because if you wait till it's all done, it's 10 times harder to push. You're better off to just keep going with it. It's a pain in the ass, but just keep going with it. You're pushing smaller amounts at a time. And besides, people aren't getting in and out of their driveways or their businesses if you let it all just stack up. So, but anyway, you'll if you guys plow, and those of you that do plow, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But anyway, so it was just random times throughout the day. I just happened to remember I had the GoPro mounted to the dash, and I just clicked it on and off. So you'll see random clips here of different driveways I plow. Just a couple of them are on here. And then at the end, I think I have another short clip of the apartments that I do. One of the sets. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 lots altogether, but I think it's one of the lots that I do. I have a little bit on here at the end. I had a lot more on my GoPro, but I didn't put it on here. You guys have seen me plow that so many times. We're just gonna speed it up here, cruise down the road. Like I said, I'm going to put some music in here. I'm going to attempt to anyway, so you guys don't have to listen to me ramble on through this whole thing. But we're going to go right down the road. I don't know if you've seen it real quick, that backhoe we just passed. That's my brother-in-law. The gray house I just passed. You'll see it here in a second. I do 4 driveways in a row here. That yellow building right there is actually a duplex, but each side is the size of a house. It goes back far to it. It's big. And I plow both the driveways for that, and I mow that one. This first one I'm doing here, you'll see in a second when I straighten back out. It's a big gray house. It's a lot bigger than it looks. It goes back real far too. This is actually my in-laws' house, and on the left-hand side here, they built an apartment years ago, and the apartment goes way back. And so this driveway I'm plowing is for their tenant. So this apartment's right off their house. They have a really, really nice guy and his daughter live there. Really good people. But this is my in-laws' house, and so I plow this side driveway for them, just a little one. And over to the right is their driveway, and then they have a big barn out back, and another driveway. My brother-in-law lives off to the right over there. He was the one plowing his on the other side with his backhoe. But then, like I said, that yellow one right there to the left, that yard goes way back in the back there too. And the lady that lives on the left-hand side owns the whole building. She just bought it this year, and So she pays for her driveway and she pays for the mowing of the entire property every week. And then the tenant on the right hand side, he's lived there forever, really nice guy. He pays for his driveway to be plowed, but that's it. She pays for all the mowing of the whole property, which I guess makes sense since she owns the whole thing anyway. But really, really good people all right in a row here. Not really much to say about these ones. You'll see it as I push it up. You'll see how thick this snow is. This is, I think this is the second time when I filmed this one. I think this was the second time that I'd gone through all these. Yeah, because it kind of looks like it's still snowing a little bit, and I'm pretty sure it was done. You notice I got two different wiper blades on there. I was halfway through plow, and then the wiper blade on the left-hand side broke off. It just had ice and crap chunked up on it, and it broke the plastic clip, and it came off. A good thing it didn't scratch my window, but I always keep spare wiper blades under my back seat of my truck just in case that happens, and that's a good thing because I was just out in the middle of it, and I had to get it done. Had to crank it out. I wasn't about to play around. So I'm gonna clean these up here. I'm gonna try to put some music in here, and maybe I'll be back for you guys in a second. Alright guys, this one here real quick. This is the farm that my in-laws own, and these are all rental properties through here. And I just bill it to them. You know, it wouldn't matter. I would just do it to help them out. But I just bill it through. They're in a partnership, and I bill it through that. And it just makes it easier. These people can get out. There's property to the right, property to the left, and then out on the other side of those woods, there's like another 17 acres, something like that, of orchard. It's been in it's been in my father-in-law's family forever. But yeah, these are just a few more that I do along my route. I don't know. I think I'm down to this year. I have one, two, three, four, five lots at the apartments. Max's mom's business at 6, and the church 7. So I have 7 parking lots, 7 or 8 parking lots, and then I think I have 21 or 22 driveways. I actually gave up over 30 driveways this year. Now remember, that might not sound like a lot to you guys, but this is all stuff I've maintained by myself, one man, one truck, every year, no matter how much snow we get. So it's quite a bit for one person to handle. I'm sure there's going to be some Superman superhero on here who's going to say, I do 70 driveways a day all by myself with one truck. Yeah, well, they're probably all right next to each other too. You probably don't live out in a rural area like this, and if you do, then I'm calling bullshit. I've been doing this 17 years, and there's no way one person is doing 70, 80, even 60 driveways all by themselves in one frickin' day, if they're decent sized driveways, out in rural area where I live, where you got to drive down the road, around the block. It might be 7-8 minutes up the road to the next driveway. There's no way. I don't care what you're running. I don't care what you're driving. I don't care what kind of drugs you're on to keep you awake. It's not happening. I've seen guys that plow like crazy that make me look like an amateur, who've been doing it longer than me with much better equipment than me, and they still don't push that much. You're just not doing it. So I don't know. There's I got I think one of my plowing videos I made last year, I got an email from a guy that said, man, you sure are taking your time. You're never going to make any money that way. And before the comments roll in, just remember, guys, snow plowing for me is play money. All my money for the year is made during the spring, summer, and fall, and my bank account is set before I even go into winter to get me right through it, so that I don't even have to do this. I do it for play money, so I'm not trying to make $1 million off plowing snow. If I was, I'd go buy a couple big pieces of equipment, and I'd bid monster parking lots and shopping malls, because half the guys that take care of them in my area do a shit job, and I could sweep them up pretty quick. I don't care to. I don't want to. I don't want the liability. So anyway, now that we got that settled, yeah, I'm just cranking them out, guys, and doing what I do. And like I said before, I never take on any more than I absolutely have to, meaning I'm the guy that you will see my truck stop before that thing is in reverse after I push forward. And then when I back up, before it's back in the drive, the truck is stopped again. That's how I plow with a 1500 every year. I've never gone through a transmission. I've never blown up an engine. I've never torn up a rear end. Never have I had those issues. This one here, I filmed a very little bit last summer for you guys mowing this one. I'm definitely gonna get more of it for you this year. This is my town building inspector's house. There's a lot of weed whacking here, but this place stripes beautifully. It does an excellent job. You could stripe this thing with anything, and it doesn't matter what height you cut it at. I've cut it at 4 inches before when it was growing like crazy, and I've cut it as low as 3 inches. So this thing just stripes like there's no tomorrow. It's a nice lawn. It's a lot of fun to cut too. So I did raise his price by $5 this upcoming season, because last year was the first year I mowed it, and he was just thrilled with it. And anytime I bag here, he has compost piles in the back, so all I do is just pull up to him, dump my baggers right there. Don't have to haul anything away. It's great. Yeah, but this is a fun one. I think I filmed a little bit of Max mowing with the Exmark with the baggers on in this one here. In one of my videos this past summer. You have to check that out. But this one's a lot of fun. I'll definitely get more footage. I plan on making my mowing videos a lot more detailed this year, a lot better. Like I'd mentioned, if you guys follow me, I'm going to be starting a new series this year, and it's not just going to be random videos of you watching me ride around on a mower. There's going to be a lot more like this, like the narration, and then I'll talk while I'm filming too, you know, and you'll actually, it'll be live filming. And there's going to be a lot more into like my day-to-day, what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, how I'm doing it. And, you know, not that you guys know me. I don't tell anybody their way's the wrong way, my way's the right way. Everyone has their own way of doing things, and everyone can always learn. Look at that monster pile of snow. That stuff was heavy, wet, and thick. That's why it just clumps together like that. But it'll just be a lot more what I do and why I do it. That series is going to be coming hopefully sooner rather than later. We're going to, I believe now, it's going to go into a couple minutes of one of the parking lots I do. I just threw a little bit in here, so I'll be ending it with that, guys. And I don't know, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this. I've tried to keep it from being too boring, but hopefully you guys have enjoyed this, and stay tuned for the rest of it. And hopefully no more snow. Pray for no more snow, guys. Enjoy.